Hey everybody, so one of the big questions that a lot of people have been having is why have we not heard anything about the after sequel other than this, very briefly little answer from Anna Todd in like some interview saying like, oh yeah, no, I'm writing the sequel with an unnamed male screenwriter that I cannot name right now. The question is like, well, why haven't we heard anything? You've you've made back your budget, you broken even, and now you're making a profit. So why you are the highest grossing film for this studio. Why has the studio not answered, like why has the studio not said we're getting a sequel? Like why has this thing not been officially greenlit? And well, let's just go through some of the possibilities here. The first possibility is that I think that Jenny Gage has been fired. I know that they have not officially announced this, but I don't think she's coming back for the sequel. The director of the first film, I don't think she's coming back for the sequel. And let me tell you why. Because I read this article to you guys that somebody wrote talking about like how the after film came to be made. And after a certain point in that article, it literally came off as pretty much like a long version of, well, she ain't coming back. Like, she ain't coming back for the sequel. So yeah, that could be one of the reasons that, Jenny Gage, is getting, stepping down and they're looking for another director. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I don't want to see happen. I want to see, even though I think that there are male directors who could tackle this material, I want to see this film or these films stick with a female director going forward. I don't want them to bring in a male director for the next films. I want this to stay with women. Because again, this is a very how can I say that? A very female story. We have a main female character. Our female character really is our point of view, other than in the sequel, which we do kind of get his point of view as well. But like she is our main character. She is a lot of the time like our focal point for the sequels or for these books. And so I want to see, a woman continue to be the director. Because again, you kind of see this one too many times. And I know like some people are going to downvote me and call me sexist or whatever and say like, oh, you're being sexist against men, men can direct that. Yes, they can. But I've seen this one too many times where the first film is successful, money-wise, where the first film is successful, and then all of a sudden for the sequels, they boot the female director off and bring in male directors. Now, for the unnamed male screenwriter, I still want to know who that is. I still want to hear the words. I still want to hear the name of who that is. Because we never know. Like the guy who is writing the sequel with her, he could be a director. He could be somebody who knows how to direct. So that could be why they're not announcing who the male screenwriter is. Because again, that could give the hint of, oh, by the way, this is also a director you might know. And oh, by the way, he's going to come in and, also step in and direct it. Another reason why they might be delaying the sequel or why they might not have announced the sequel yet, and again, I never want to get political on this channel, but in Georgia, which is where they filmed the first film, they filmed it in Georgia, and I think I want to say they filmed it in Boston, but I think they mainly filmed in Georgia. It was Georgia as far as I know. Yeah, I think they mainly filmed in Georgia. I think they 100% filmed in Georgia. Georgia very recently passed a controversial, very dangerous anti-abortion bill. And shortly around the time that they were getting ready to sign that into law, a whole bunch of Hollywood actors from a whole bunch of things came out to sign a petition, point blank saying, if you sign this into law, you're going to lose our business. We are not going to film in Georgia. We don't want anything to do with you. We don't want to know you. Don't expect us to come film there ever again. And a whole bunch of people in Hollywood signed that statement. I don't know where the after crew lands on this. Because again, Georgia, with the tax breaks, I mean, Georgia is a very cheap place to film. I mean, it is very cheap to film there, which is why I imagine that so many people film there. And you'll be even surprised to know that Marvel films there. That Marvel films film there for some of their stuff. But yeah, I mean that could be another factor, like why they have not announced the sequel. I mean, that could be one of the factors, is that the after crew very much is a part of that Hollywood area where like, hey, we're not going to film here. Hey, you signed this very dangerous law into the very dangerous bill into law, and yeah, we can't support you. We can't give you any more of our money. So that could be another factor. Another factor could be that I'm freaking wrong when it comes to the box office. I could be dead wrong when it comes to the box office, because it's all about percentages. I think they get more of a percentage of the gross from the U.S. than they do from international, the studios. So I don't know like how much of a percentage they get from overseas. So like that could be another factor. That could be like a major factor of yeah, we made money, but not enough. Not enough. I think they did. Looking at the film, I think they did. I think they made more than enough to justify doing another one. In my opinion, if I was sitting at the head of that table in Averion Pictures, because y'all, let's face it, this film is going to stay with Averion Pictures. As much as you might hate it, that is the studio that we're going to be stuck with for the next 2 films. 2, 3, 4, however many films they do. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but that's going to be our studio. So maybe don't piss them off. They shouldn't be pissing us off, but maybe don't piss them off, because yeah, I'm sure, because this is the highest grossing film for Averion Pictures, so they would be fools to let this thing go. Because not only has this film beat a film with Halle Berry that was their previous highest grossing film, this film has now beat a film by a lot that came out earlier this year with Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway, that movie Serenity. This film, I think even in the U.S., the U.S. has made less money than overseas, but you know what? Let me see this. Hang on. Damn it! Yeah, we're still about 200,000 away from, or about 300,000 away from beating Serenity just in the U.S. But no, we beat Serenity overseas. Because like Serenity has only made about $11.7 million overall. So yeah, we beat Serenity with the total box office, with the worldwide box office, and especially international. So yeah, Averion Pictures would be a fool to let this thing go. Another reason why they maybe have not announced a sequel is because maybe they're trying to work out the schedule of the cast. Because it was announced that Hero Finds Tiffin has been signed on to do a film, and that shooting could affect this film. They said it wouldn't. They said that he was still going to be involved in the film. Don't worry about it. He's got a contract. But yeah, no. This film could get maybe a little bit of a delay, because again, he might be filming something else, or he could he'll be filming something else. But as for the rest of the cast, like I don't see like any scheduling issues here, to be honest with you. And this could be another thing. Some of the people could be looking at the reaction to the first film and being like, I don't want to come back. I mean, we got absolutely murdered on the first film, not only by critics, which we expected. Even if we made, a film that could cure cancer, critics would still say that we are the worst piece of shit of all time. But, even the fans went after us. Even the fans, pretty much vitriolically go after this thing. I mean, the fans can't even be happy with the unreleased scene that they put out yesterday or the day before, whenever they put it out. Even the fans can't be happy about that. So yeah, I mean, you could have some members of the cast going like, well, we kind of don't want to deal with that again. We don't want to, take the brunt of the abuse for something that was completely out of our control. I mean, the actor, and again, like, this is the part where I think that Jenny Gage is gonna be fired, or say that she has scheduling conflicts, or just like some way for her to gracefully bow out or step away from this thing. Towards the end of that article, right around, like, I think like around either like the middle or towards the end of the article, it flat out said that Josephine Langford, Hero Finds Tiffin, and Anna Todd all wanted Hardin's personality to be in the film, that Hardin's more rougher edges to be in the film, but they all got overruled by Jenny Gage, which is, again, another reason why I think Jenny Gage is going to be let go. So yeah, those are basically, like, more than a few of the reasons why they maybe have not announced the sequel, either because of, wondering where they're going to film, who's going to be the director, maybe they're still working on the script, maybe it didn't make enough money, maybe, a scheduling conflict with Hero Finds Tiffin. But yeah, sound off in the comments section, scream at me, tell me how wrong I am for any of this. I especially think that there's going to be one thing that some people are going to scream at me and tell me I'm wrong about. But yeah, tell me I'm wrong. Jump down in the comments. Let's have a debate. Let's talk. As always, thank you so much for your support. Remember, if you like what you see here, remember to go ahead and click that like button. Remember to subscribe. I'll see you later. Afternators. Take care, y'all.